time, it's great to be with our Hall of Fame colleague, three-time Super Bowl champion, and, of course, Swag's best friend. It's Troy Aikman.
Scott, y'all ask him some good questions.
All right, I'm ready.
We got you, Swag.
He's having a hard time knowing we're not going to be together a lot after this.
We'll try to ease the sting with good questions.
Yeah, you good?
You afraid I'm going to get emotional?
Yeah. Don't do it. Let's do it after we get done.
Troy, I know your affinity for this young quarterback, Drake Maye, the 23-year-old. You shared it when we were here earlier when they played the Giants. But this is a steep hill that you're trying to climb against this Houston Texans defense we just saw on Monday night put on a show. What's the key for him today in a brand new playoff career against as tough a challenge as there is?
It's really the key for both these quarterbacks, protect the football. And when you're going up against Houston's defense like Drake Maye is going to be, they get after you. And he's got to know that there's going to be negative plays. There's going to be times when it's not there. Don't try to force the football. I think he's done a good job of that throughout the season. In his second season, he hasn't been so conservative that it's taken the deep ball out of his game. He's been a big play quarterback, and there'll be those opportunities, but he's got to be smart. I think I said it last week before the game that what Jimmy Johnson used to always say to us, it's not how many big plays you make, it's how few bad plays. And in a game like this, against this type of defense, it's going to be important that if they punt the football at the end of a possession, that's going to be a good thing.
Troy, you mentioned having every possession end in the kick. This is CJ Stroud's third consecutive year leading his team on the road in the divisional round. When you have a performance like he did last week, how do you work throughout the week to put that behind you and move forward? Because presumptively, he can't have that same type of performance and walk away with the win.
Yeah, and he knows that. And, it's one of those things, especially for a quarterback, when you have the game that he had. I know that he feels fortunate the defense played as great as they did, and they were able to win that game, their first win on the road. I think he comes in even a little bit more settled probably than he did last week. The team in general, for that matter, but it's been a long week. He probably couldn't wait to get out here today and kind of put that behind him. But, this defense, although very much different from the one we see from Houston, New England, as we saw last week with Justin Herbert and the Chargers, they can get after you as well. So I think both these quarterbacks, it really is just about being smart, knowing that this is likely going to be a low-scoring game, get it into the fourth quarter with an opportunity to win.
Troy, the flurries have started. Playoff weather is here. We got hats on, jackets on, nipples out. Weather is going to affect this one. It's going to affect the game tonight. What are you doing as a quarterback to make sure you're prepared?
Yeah, just knowing that, the key really is keeping your hands warm. I know that there were some light dusting flurries a minute ago. Maybe it'll pick up, maybe it won't. I played in one snow game, and surprisingly enough, it was a Thanksgiving game in Dallas, and I thought it was fantastic for a quarterback. It's like everyone is playing in slow motion, and yet you're playing in real speed. It was tremendous. So if it turns into that, I think it then favors the quarterback in the offensive side of the ball as far as what you're trying to accomplish. But again, it just goes back to a little bit of what plagued CJ last week is securing the football. And every snap, if you're touching the ball, quarterback, running back, wide receivers, you just got to know that it's important that you maintain possession of it because of the game we expect.
Yeah, T.A., you talked about ball security and obviously with the weather and the conditions, but you were with a Dallas team that prided itself on physicality in the run game, although we knew how good you were at that position. As you look at these two teams, do you think that'll be the difference? And also, with Josh McDaniels with a young quarterback in this situation in the first time, how aggressive would you be early as opposed to throughout the duration of the game?
Yeah, I think for Josh McDaniels and really Drake Maye, let him kind of get in the rhythm of the game and settle in. Surprisingly enough, in talking with Drake Maye, he said he doesn't even know what the first play of the game is going to be until an hour before kickoff.
Wow.
That Josh McDaniels walks in, writes it on the whiteboard, and then they know what the first play of the game is. I always knew 2 days before, so I was a little surprised by that. Yeah. He won't have had a lot of time to give it much thought, but let him get some easy completions. If they can run the ball, which they've been able to do here over the last month of the season, then that's going to bode really well. But early on, they really struggled running the football, so that'll be the key.
Yep.
Speaking of not much time, Denver doesn't have much time at all to figure out who they are between now and next Sunday when they welcome one of these teams to town with a new quarterback. What do you do with that little time?
Well, I will say this. I thought Sean Payton was excellent at the podium last night.
Yes.
And I think he caught himself. And he realized that that was a moment that he could build the confidence of Stidham, knowing that that's who he's going to be relying on in this AFC Championship game. So I thought he was smart. I thought it was a page right out of Bill Parcells' playbook. And knowing Sean the way that I do, I expect that Stidham will come out and he'll play well, and there will be a game plan that'll give him some opportunities to make some plays. Sean's as good as there is.
Yes.
There's others that are as good as well. But the game plan will be solid, and he'll have Jarrett Stidham prepared, and he'll have every opportunity to play well.
It's a really interesting point, right? You could build confidence in your groups. I know Anderson and Al Shire, who joined me on SportsCenter, said how much D'Amico's confidence in them buoys them, and Peyton is able to tell the room, like, we believe
Absolutely.
in you. We believe in you and Joe.
You about to go?
I know that you guys will be straight up in the
Oh, my God.
Give me a hug. Give me a hug, 'cause I know you're struggling.
You get this guy
Gonna be all right.
I know you're struggling.
Somebody got a violin.
I know you're struggling.
Come on, buddy.
I know you.
Swag,
Bring it in here.
Bring it in here.
All right, brother.
I'll make you cry.
Yeah.
Let's swag, Jason Ryan, Scott Van Pelt with you inside here. And Jason, Milton Williams is a guy you know well from the 4 years that he spent in Philadelphia. Disruptive force. What makes him so problematic?
He's like a pit bull. He's sawed off, but strong as an ox and quick as flash. I mean, it was fun watching him when he first came in. It's been a pleasure watching him mature as a player. When he first came in, he was like a flash in the pan type guy. He'd come in and he'd shoot a gap. He'd make a big play as a sub-rotational guy, and he's really flourished into an every down player. And he can play physical at the point of attack. He picks and chooses those spots to take his chances in a much more intelligent way. He got a bunch of pressures on games. He had a good bull rush of Zion Johnson last week. He's really had a tremendous year for the Patriots, and I've been enjoying watching him play.
This is 3 years that we've been doing this as a group, and it's 3 years in the divisional round we've had Houston swag. We were in Baltimore, we were in Kansas City, and now here we are. And to see CJ Stroud look, in your words, shook in that game in Pittsburgh is a little bit jarring, and he's facing a tough pass rush tonight. What are you looking for there? What are the tells?
Yeah, it concerned me, man. And look, the calling card for this team for a large majority of the time was the interior pressure was costing CJ Stroud the opportunity to develop. They were giving up a lot of pressure on the interior. Saw some of that old stuff rear its head against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it's something that they do well in New England, as you just mentioned. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to look at this simulated pressure by Terrell Austin from the interior of this line of scrimmage. And now you get games. You get twist and stunt. And understanding that the guard, center guard are the most important people in this game today for the Houston Texans. So you get this slide by the offensive line, but now it's sorting that has to happen. So CJ Stroud has opportunities to escape. The problem is that while you're trying to keep your eyes downfield and feel this pressure, it's a problem. You see New England here. It's an interior pressure. We used to call this a T game or a switch game, and you see this pressure pushing up into Justin Herbert. There will be an area to get out if your offensive line gives you that escapability. It's just, can you find it fast enough, or are you getting the ball out of your hand? And last but not least, you see the Patriots. They give you a simulated pressure. They use this backer now to take the center away from where the game is happening on the backside. The running back gets up in the mesh. He doesn't find who he needs to pick up and help, and they get a sack on this. This is something CJ Stroud is going to face today. The two things I love about the New England Patriots defense, they are very disciplined when they're in simulated pressures. This defensive line understands where they need to be, and the way that they like to take, and JK, you can speak to this after I get done.
Gotcha.
They use these backers to take centers out of help. And doesn't allow them to slide.
I'm glad you teed me up because I was already having flashbacks.
I know it.
This is straight up New England style with Bill Belichick as well. You build a five-man front, make everybody make a man call, and then you think you got your guy blocked, and wham, you're getting the ear hole from the side. It sucks. It is the worst thing ever. And it's like, throw the ball, please. It's a nightmare scenario. It takes a lot of guys working together, getting on the same level, and you really got to use your hands and keep your head out of it. It's very difficult. difficult.
He's like, help!
Yeah.
me!
I'm supposed to be helping people. I'm a center. I'm not supposed to be one-on-one blocking anybody.
No Trent Brown today for Houston. They ran for 159-ish against Pittsburgh. RC, how much is that something they ought to try to do even without Brown?
Well, I think for both of these teams, the running backs will be big. You look at last week, it was Woody Mark's first 100-yard game since he's been a professional. And then on the other side of it, Ramondre Stevens, 2 huge catches, one for 48 yards when they were backed up against the Los Angeles Chargers. Another setup of big play for the New England Patriots. And he averaged 5.3 yards per carry. When you're playing teams that are so good at rushing the quarterback, one, because of how great their front four is, another, because of their disguises, simulated pressures, being able to add to the rush, being able to run the football and utilize the check down will be huge for both CJ Stroud and also Drake Maye. But to me, this game comes down to which quarterback makes the least mistakes